I think that if we really want to tackle the issue, we have to talk about specific phenomenon. So there might be false news, misinformation, propaganda, political operation, foreign attacks to the space of the public opinion of other countries, clickbaiting, conspiracy theories, and lies determined by commercial incentives. All these are specific issues, and I think that each of those need to be addressed in a specific way. It's not something, as my colleagues noted before, that was born with the internet. It was always there. But of course, now things are different. Why? There's scale, volume, there's speed, virality, there's a bunch of automatic mechanisms of diffusion, such as bots and so on. And many times there's also an economic incentive to spread false news. So you were asking me about Italy. I think that the first thing we have to note about Italy is that some of the most toxic news that was spread lately during the electoral campaign were not coming from underdogs or individuals, but by traditional media and political parties. Some of them orchestrated a campaign of fear, sometimes of character assassination, and as you noted, probably we are going through another 12 months of campaign, first the political Italian campaign and then the European Parliament campaign. I think that it's probably going to get worse because, you know, many things are different in the digital era, but one key principle is the same, and the principle is garbage in, garbage out. So the more rubbish you put in the system, the more polarization, the more hate, the more fear you get at the end of the process. So what should we do? What are we doing? How are we tackling this? Here I like a definition that Jay Rosen, an American journalist, gave a few weeks ago. When he said, we have to regain trust. How? We have to optimize our publications for trust. Of course, everybody tries to do his best every day, but I think that now there are many specific things we can do. Some housekeeping. For example, at La Stampa and La Repubblica, they're part of the same group, we adopted a standard that is called the Trust Project. What is it? It's a bunch of indicators, objective indicators that cannot be misunderstood, such as ownership, author bias, the editing process, the correction policies, the type of content, geotags, so that when you read the story, you don't know if the reporter was actually there from the place on the spot where she is filing it, and so on. And all these indicators are meant for people that they can understand them and read them when they read the story. And also they are in machine-readable format. So platforms, if they want and if they are really willing to, can take those indicators as a measurement of quality and reward that quality. Another thing we are doing is being engaged actively in international forums, being part of Lena, for example, but also being part of international investigative projects such as that Daphne project. Daphne Caruana Galizia was a Maltese journalist that was killed by a car bomb last October, and La Repubblica just released a documentary, a 52-minute documentary that was broadcasted by Sky, and it's part of an investigation of 18 countries. So the idea is, you killed Daphne because you wanted to have silence on the island. Well, now you have 18 publications around the world with spotlights, and every month we're coming out with stories on this. We have been speaking a lot about schools, about youth, about literacy. I think that here too, a practical little thing. We have a platform in Italy that is called Repubblica Scuole. In time, we had more than 10 million students onboarding on the platform, and they filed more than 500,000 stories in the last years. And in the last 6 months, we engaged with Google in a project, in a literacy project of digital citizenship. So the teachers and students get videos, then engage in discussion. They publish stories about the rights, about how to be conscious in sharing, about their rights and their duties when they are online, and so on. Because many of them are very, very proof in sharing, but they do not think and think twice before sharing. Mm-hmm. And this is another very small but practical thing that is proving to be very fruitful. Mm-hmm. So I think that we have to be very pragmatical